Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a very interesting company in AI that has just raised $5 million, and that is Superframe. So this is an AI startup that essentially wants to be your Copilot for revenue operations. They've raised $5 million, and the thing that I find very interesting about this is that they raised that from over 40 angel investors. They have data experts, AI experts, Salesforce consultants, general operation experts. So this is a very interesting play, and I'm going to talk about why I think this may become the industry standard over the next couple of years, and why I think this is a fairly interesting company moving forward. So let's dive into it. Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Superframe is a startup specializing in AI-powered software solutions. Really, the idea is that it is optimizing business technology stacks. Like I mentioned, it just successfully raised $5 million. And I think this funding milestone closely follows the release of Superframe's inaugural product, which is an AI assistant engineered to manage intricate Salesforce implementations. So very, I would say, kind of niche and specialized product. They're able to raise $5 million, and the startup asserts that its technology will not only streamline Salesforce configurations, but will also deliver on the key aspects of speed, reliability, and ease of use. So ultimately, this is going to be saving businesses both time and money. Now, what I find really interesting here, like I mentioned before, they've raised this from 40 angel investors. And I think right now in the industry, while we're seeing venture capital firms largely, there's a lot of them that it would appear have sort of dried up for funds. They're not able to raise as big funds this year as they were able to raise 2 years ago or in the past historically. I mean, you can see this on a big level, right? Like Tiger Global was able to raise a fraction of what they were hoping to raise for the latest round. SoftBank, all of the big firms are having this struggle, and that it really does boil down to the smaller firms too. Pretty much any of these big VC firms that put a ton of money into startups in 2021 when the prices were overinflated and frothy, then they're trying to make their money back, but all of those startups are doing write-downs, so the equity, the shares, the valuations are all dropping, and essentially these most VC firms are not getting the returns they hoped or wanted for their LPs, their limited partners, and so it's very difficult for them to raise their next rounds. They're in a bit of a tricky situation, a lot of them. I think some of the best ones will be able to weather the storm. Hopefully they made good bets. Hopefully they saved enough dry powder and they're able to put that into good AI companies that will help return the whole portfolio. Because I think traditionally you're going to have, like, of 20 investments that a VC firm makes, one of them is going to pay back the whole portfolio. That's the idea, right? If you're good, then 1 in 10 is going to pay back. But I think traditionally, I mean, even a good firm gets 1 in 20. In any case, right now, because they know that it's really difficult for them to raise money, they're being really stingy on, like, giving out money because they know that this is going to be hard for them to get it back and hard for them to raise more money. So the investments are few and far in between for many VC firms that are trying to essentially stay alive. Now, that brings us up to what Superframe is doing today. They just raised it from 40 angel investors, and I believe that was a really smart move because they know their product and their software is really valuable, But the issue is they probably weren't able to find VCs that could back this to a large degree. They just launched, and so they're like, look, we know that people in the industry can see the value. So they went to angel investors that were specifically experts on what they're doing, and were able to put together a $5 million round that way. So big kudos to them, and definitely well played. So their CEO and co-founder specifically kind of talked about this, what their unique value proposition is for Superframe in a really crowded AI marketplace. And this is what he specifically said. He said, we want to fight the consumer frustration with a lack of accuracy. We want to build trust with our consumers by giving them something they can't get somewhere else. So Steer really brings a wealth of experience to Superframe, having previously sold his data and AI company Mode to ThoughtSpot for $200 million. So Superframe is tackling the reoccurrent challenges that organizations frequently encounter with go-to-market tools like Salesforce, Marketo, HubSpot. And these platforms are notorious for their complexity and kind of rigid configuration options, often causing companies to, squander valuable resources. Superframe employs cutting-edge language models from OpenAI, specifically ChatGPT, to offer precise, immediate responses to system queries and to suggest actionable configurations to configuration changes. So I think what's really interesting here, right? One other thing I want to add on their fundraising, absolutely cool, amazing company. I'm sure they're doing a great job. The 40 angels, you'll typically see something like that from a company, right? Like this guy, he's previously sold his company for $200 million. And so he's made a ton of connections in this space in his time in the industry. And so that's where he can kind of leverage a lot of those connections for those 40 angels that helped him raise this $5 million. And with an amazing track record like that, those people are 100% going to be getting their money back and getting a great return on an investment from this guy, because he obviously has a really solid track record. So I think addressing concerns about the role of AI in the workspace, Steer assures that Superframe aims to augment human expertise rather than replace it, and says, quote, we want to help more people build more expertise, and that's something that customers are still going to want to rely on. So the platform is designed to really alleviate the complexities and limitations that are inherent in existing tools and enable businesses to focus on optimizing their operations. Currently undergoing beta testing with a select group of clients, Superframe, I believe they're really kind of anticipating a public launch in early of next year. And the first suite of features, specifically those answering system-related queries, will be available to users free of charge. So the seed funding is allocated primarily for product development and staffing, adding to the startup's existing team of 4 engineers. So the broader context for Superframe's entry into the market is fairly compelling. I think a recent Gartner report predicts that AI software market could grow to nearly 1.3 billion by 2025. And this is, rising from essentially adoption of cloud-based services and applications. And Superframe really aspires to kind of serve as a critical asset for revenue operation teams, helping them reimagine their go-to-market strategies more creatively. So Steer encapsulated this vision stating, quote, we believe that humans are capable of a lot, and we are in a lot of cases bottlenecked by the tools that we use. We want to remove those bottlenecks in order to give people a greater ability to employ their creativity. I think with their unique approach and their technology is fairly robust, Superframe is positioning themselves as an important player in the next wave of AI-enabled business optimization tools. It's going to be, I'm personally kind of curious, right? Obviously, they're just using ChatGPT as API in this. I'm curious to see what kind of in-house magic secret sauce they have added on top. If they ever train their own model, what that looks like. It'll be an interesting space to watch. There's, of course, are always the questions you're going to get from investors or other people that are looking at the longevity of the company. I think they're going to do great things, but it'll definitely be something I'd be curious to watching in the future to see how they expand.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.